Alright
Approved.
guys, Forsaken has so much more in stock, including another upcoming killer that we haven't heard about in a while, a huge LMS finally coming to the game, and even some Milestone concept redesigns. Let's get into it. So, Forsaken have so many upcoming killers coming to the game, and there is one that was actually in Damnation, but hasn't seen the light of day since then. And this killer is Zombie King. Zombie King is supposed to be one of the biggest killers in the game that was compared to King and even Sixer. But the thing is, Zombie King is based off of old classic Roblox games, where you would see this large zombie and you'll probably get scared by it because he's like the biggest boss in the game. As one game we know Zombie King is from is Police v Zombies. But just from this, there was also something hidden that people only realized when Zombie King was first shown off. As also, there was an infected Shedletsky skin which made him green, and it had the same face as when he's dead. And I don't think we've seen that skin since then, and definitely would be perfect for Zombie King's update. Zombie King seems like he's more planned for Chapter 4, so it's very unlikely we'll get this guy anytime soon. But being based off a classic Roblox zombie design is something that this game needs, and he'll probably be able to spawn a bunch of minions like Cool Kid, but in a way where you can have a horde of zombies chasing the survivor. And imagine that, it's like you're playing COD Zombies. Honestly, they could literally add a zombies mode to this game, because in VIP servers and in private servers, you can literally use guns. There's an assault rifle that you can use, and this would work perfectly with Zombie King. Finally seeing that some of these items in private servers could actually get a use in game. People just use it for fun, really. Definitely, the old design of Zombie King needs a new redesign, and with how all the upcoming killers are getting changed differently, it's definitely planned, as bro still has his Jordans on, man. You ain't hitting a dunk on anyone, bro. And the thing that I find crazy, once again, Comma has actually made another model design for Zombie King. My guys work so fast now that they've even got 2 different killers already done before Forsaken could even release one. Come on, Forsaken, lock in, bro. Which Comma actually made the design kind of smaller than what we would expect, but in a way where Zombie King is much more blockier. But this is kind of like the redesign that we could expect from Forsaken, as we know that not every classic design is going to be exactly the same for these killers, as we can see with the different skins that came back into the game for the old designs of killers like Memories and others as well. And even Coconut responded by saying how cool this model is, because everyone basically thinks that models just fold and have curvature, but there's a lot more to it, which Comma basically had to do themselves, which they could have made the torso more like the OG model, and you know how the old model is more of an R6 kind of design, so Comma made sure by adding more to it instead. But then again, Coconut did respond with characters' whole appeal is being stud built, they're gonna stay stud built. Calm down, Jamal, don't pull out the 9. But that's the thing, people are still confused on what Forsaken are trying to do with Zombie King, as it could look something like the Stalker redesign or even Cool Killer, which is another killer that hasn't seen the light of day, so it'd be pretty difficult to figure out what this Zombie King redesign will look like. People still do find this one really cool, as yeah, it's like the only updated thing we've got in a while. So finally seeing Zombie King like this is definitely gonna get people more hyped for this killer. But definitely Zombie Killer will have such a unique moveset to where there's going to be like so many different ways you can target a survivor with the zombies you can spawn in, and maybe even being able to control them just like Azure. But yeah, what can we expect from Zombie Killer, and is this a good redesign? It's crazy. It's now been over a year since the Slasher update, and Slasher finally got the redesign from Jason. There was something completely missing that we thought we would get back in the day, and this was the Slasher v Guest 1337 LMS. The thing is, this LMS was teased back then, but we never saw a release of it because Vlad said that they weren't particularly planning to release it. So there were just a bunch of custom ones made, and it just seemed weird for Slasher to not get it with Guest, since every other killer that's come out recently has an LMS between them and the survivor. But finally, after ages, it's actually coming, with Vlad finally showing off the teaser, and I can't lie, it does sound like Prince of Persia type vibes that you get. It's like you're playing Assassin's Creed where you're trying to run away from the Templars and they're just chasing right behind you. Honestly, it doesn't even sound like the Slasher to me. But definitely, this is one thing people were waiting for so long, and having it be like some cinematic LMS makes the wait worth it. But then again, there was also this hidden killer people don't really really remember about. And a while back, I actually made a video on this, which was Guess 1458. Honestly, we don't even know much about this guy. There was supposed to be some sort of killer that turned out bad and got caught into an explosion, to where half of their face was kind of like Two-Face. So bro wanted to get revenge on Guess. With Guess 1458, there's supposed to be a star glitcher. And a star glitcher is another killer that's supposed to come to the game as well. So Guess 1458 probably got scrapped for them instead. So a lot of people are kind of expecting the LMS to be towards more of the lore side, as it's not really about them two having beef, and it's more about how the war was. The rest of it will probably sound like exactly what people are expecting. And definitely having those soldier footsteps at the beginning is exactly everyone wants anyway. So do you think this LMS theme actually stays to the lore? There's this one survivor that hasn't seen much updates to their milestone skins in quite some time. But then again, their milestone skins are pretty well made, so there wasn't really any need to change them. However, we have now seen some new milestone concepts for Shedletsky by Spilled Gravy. They always cook with these designs. And hopefully, this time around, we could probably see a milestone 5 skin for Shedletsky, which would definitely be a huge change for a lot of these survivors, since we've already seen one for Chance and one for 2-time. So Shedletsky being one of the admins, it makes sense to add. With milestone 1 still being based off the chicken hat Shedletsky, but instead having more of a updated design, with him of course loving fried chicken. And then with milestone 2, we can see the Silicon Valley design still here, but instead bro has lost his shirt, and honestly this is probably one of the better designs for him. And then with milestone 3, we're still getting that old design, but now it's more updated to where he now has a scar in his eye, as before it used to be on his left eye, it was more below it. And then finally with milestone 4, bro looks like his actual Telemon outfit, and this time around he's actually covering his face with the Dominus, and instead we can just see one eye through it, which actually fits well. Forsaken Shedletsky, you can't even see his face, and just has his Dominus as his face mainly. So this is definitely the perfect way to update these skins, just to make them more towards the new Forsaken art style, and even the different weapons that he has for each milestone skin, and they fit perfectly with each one. This is more of a quality of life change, so fans shouldn't get too annoyed by the changes, and instead make it so it's still based on them, on the legacy ones. And people are thinking milestone 5 will see Shedletsky taking on the Telemon persona, and it's like a banned ending of him never taking out 1X, which definitely could be a real thing, since with Chance's milestone 5 skin, that's how he turned out. That was like his ending if he didn't get Forsaken. So having the designs more like this fits well with how Forsaken's art style is going, and we could finally see something in the next few updates where most of the milestone skins get updates to them. Well, 2 other survivors still need them, which are Elliot and Builderman. Once them 2 finally get their new redesigned milestone skins, then Forsaken will likely look back onto Shedletsky and update them for us. Do you think these milestone skins are worth redesigning? So Forsaken definitely have more stuff cooking for the next few updates. What things do you want to see back into the game that have once been spoken about but haven't got updates since way back? And what are you doing? If you haven't subscribed or even liked the video, do that right now, because I'm uploading so much, and make sure you're Forsakening it.